Introduction: A Caregiver's Guide. According to a 2021 report by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, 55% of people helping to care for a loved one don't consider themselves caregivers. You might not know the meaning of the term caregiver until you have to. It's not just about caring for others, it's about taking care of yourself too. Only when you start identifying as a caregiver are you able to see the full picture of your position and the resources available to you. In this video, you'll learn what it truly means to be a caregiver and how to achieve a healthy balance between taking care of yourself and of others. Part 1. Are you a caregiver? Do you provide unpaid care for a family member, friend, or a neighbor who has an illness, disability, memory loss, injury, or special needs? At least 4 million New Yorkers do. You may be one of them. Do you perform housework for someone else? Help someone with basic chores like cleaning, shoveling snow, mowing the lawn, calling doctors at the pharmacy, or doing laundry or home repairs? Shop for food or pick up medication for someone? Assist someone with meal preparation? Take someone to medical appointments, help arrange for their medical care, or assist them in paying their bills? Help someone wash or dress themselves? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are a caregiver. Part 2. Who can be a caregiver? A caregiver doesn't have to live with the person they support. Some provide care to people who live independently and need assistance with everyday tasks. A caregiver can be a spouse or partner, parent or grandparent, son or daughter, grandchild or friend or neighbor. Here are some common caregiving examples to consider. Luis is 82 years old and is mostly independent, but has vision problems that make it impossible for him to drive. His son Carlos spends about 2 hours a week taking Luis to grocery store and medical appointments. Carlos doesn't think about his role and only considers it something a son should do. Anne's mother, Meredith, lives in another state. Meredith is 75 years old and has trouble following up with her doctor and pharmacist, so Anne spends time on the phone with Meredith's medical team each week. Anne doesn't think of her work as caregiving because she's doing it from afar. Carmela is 70 years old and caring for her 16-year-old grandson, Sal, who is in a wheelchair as the result of an accident. She drives Sal to medical appointments and helps him with transferring, dressing, and bathing. Carmela considers it something every grandparent would do. Although all of these individuals think they're simply doing something kind for someone they love, they are actually caregivers, spending a substantial amount of time ensuring their loved ones are staying healthy. Part 3. Working caregivers. Working caregivers face unique challenges when it comes to balancing their work and caregiving responsibilities. These demands take a major toll on working caregivers, and they often have no choice but to arrive late and/or leave work early, change their work schedule, make care-related phone calls during work hours, leave work to respond to emergencies, or miss work or leave the workforce altogether. If you're having difficulty balancing work and caregiving, talk to your employer about a shortened work week, flexible hours, reduced hours on a temporary or permanent basis, alternative work locations, and emergency time off for care. NYSOFA encourages employers to create a workplace environment that is supportive of working caregivers. Learn more about what you can do to help at the web address on your screen. There you'll find more information about our Caregivers in the Workplace Guide and NYSOFA's Working Caregivers Survey. Part 4. Signs of caregiver stress. The stresses of caregiving can affect your health and well-being. This might feel like being overwhelmed or constantly worried, being tired often, getting too much sleep or not enough sleep, experiencing unwanted weight fluctuation, getting easily irritated or angry, losing interest in activities you used to enjoy, feeling sad, having frequent headaches, bodily pain, or other physical problems, overusing or misusing alcohol or drugs. If this sounds like you, you are not alone. According to a survey by the caregiver support organization Archangels, 61% of caregivers worry about caring for a family member, friend, or neighbor, and about a third use substances to reduce stress or cope versus only 6% of the general population. Part 5. Additional help. New York State offers many supports, tools, and resources to help caregivers. To find them, head to the web address on your screen. This includes the New York Connects resource directory, where you can find thousands of local support services by zip code or keyword. You can also call the New York Connects helpline at 1-800-342-9871. NYSOFA also offers digital supports from our partners. Create an account for the Caregiver Education and Training Portal, free of charge for any caregiver through TrueAlta. Find your caregiver intensity score with Archangels and get connected to resources that can help. Let's wrap up and take a moment to review. You are a caregiver if you provide care to someone who is sick, has a disability, or needs support, no matter what type of help it is and how much time you spend doing it. It's important to remember the signs of caregiver burnout and get help through state programs and partnerships. Working caregivers face unique burdens and are encouraged to talk to their employers as well as find resources for support. Act now for yourself, a loved one, or an employee. Here's a recap of the resources we've discussed. If you are an employer, read our Caregivers in the Workplace Guide and share it with your HR departments for tips on how to support working caregivers. Answer our Working Caregivers survey and share it with your colleagues or employees to help inform businesses about the impact of caregiving. Use the New York Connects helpline, 1-800-342-9871, or online resource directory to find help. Create an account with the Caregiver Education and Training Portal through TrueAlta. And find your caregiver intensity score using the Archangels Caregiver Intensity Index. Don't forget, all of this information and more is available on our caregiver resource pages listed on your screen.